Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Sui blockchain, and this is the course outline of everything we're going to talk about today. We're going to first start up talking about the Sui ecosystem, then we're going to move over to talk about the team behind the Sui blockchain, then we're going to talk about the key features about the Sui ecosystem, then we're going to talk about the basic misconception that everyone has about the Sui blockchain. We're then going to debunk all the outlying misconceptions about Sui, and we're going to still talk about Sui's transaction speed. Then finally, I'm going to give you guys my take on what I think about the Sui blockchain and everything about it. This is going to be an interesting and educative video. Stick to the end. The first thing we're going to be talking about in our video today is introduction to Sui. So what is Sui? Sui is a core layer 1 blockchain that aims to perform high-speed transaction, instant settlement, and scalability of dApps. Sui is a Japanese word which means water. Sui aims to tackle the problem that other layer 1 blockchain faces. That's the problem of consensus, execution, and storage. And so far, it has done all of that. Sui started in 2021 with its first fundraising phase, which generated over $30 million. And then it launched its testnet in August 2022. Soon after, it followed by a second fundraising phase, which generated over $300 million. And it had partners like Binance, Coinbase, FTX, and A16Z. You can see that is very crazy. It then moved over to 3rd of May 2023 and launched its mainnet phase, and Sui launched at $1.295. Moving on, we're going to be talking about the team behind Sui. As we all know, Sui is founded by Miston Labs. Who is Miston Labs? Miston Labs comprises of 5 individuals. I'm going to tell you all about them and their past experience shortly. We have the first person on the list. It's Sam Blackshear. Sam Blackshear is the current CTO, and he worked at Novi as a former principal engineer. And then the next person we're going to be talking about is George Denisis. Who is George Denisis? George Denisis is the chief scientist, and he worked at Novi as their former research scientist. The next person we're going to be talking about is the CPO. And who is the CPO? Adeniyi Abiodun. Adeniyi Abiodun worked at Novi and Meta as their head, and he also has experience in Oracle, JP Morgan, HBBS, name it. He has those massive experience in all of them. Then we're going to talk about Kostas Chakas. Who is Kostas Chakas? Kostas Chakas is their chief cryptographer, and he worked at Novi as an ex-lead cryptographer. Then finally, we're going to be talking about the CEO. Who is the CEO? Ivan Chen. Ivan Chen had previously worked at Apple for 10 good years, and he worked in Novi as the head of R&D, and he is now the CEO of the Sui blockchain. So as you can all see, that all these people have vast experience when it comes to blockchain technology, owing to the fact that they all worked at Facebook's first blockchain, which was called Libra, which later didn't succeed, or it was shut down. Moving on now, we're going to talk about the next thing, which is the key features about the Sui ecosystem. The first key feature about the Sui ecosystem we're going to talk about today is the object-based model. So what is object-based model? Object-based model, these are where assets are classified as object and can be sent directly from one person to another person without notification being made at the smart contract. This is different. This is unlike other layer 1 blockchain, whereby if I'm transferring an asset to another person, the notifications are going to be made at the smart contract. On the Sui blockchain, real ownership of assets happens, while on other layer 1 blockchains, we don't really have the assets we're talking about. So if you have a particular NFT, you don't have that particular NFT. You just have an authorization that shows that, yes, I am the owner of that particular NFT, where you don't really have it. It's just like a link that shows that this is a proof of ownership of this particular NFT without you actually having the NFT. While at Sui ecosystem, the case is quite different, because now the particular asset is now an object, particular NFT is now an object. So therefore, you are the owner of that particular asset and can be transferred directly to whoever you want to do without notification being made at the smart contract level. This is crazy. The next we're going to talk about is the Move programming language. The Move programming language was developed by Sam Blackshear. And who is Sam Blackshear? Sam Blackshear is part of the Sui's team. The Move programming language have been proven to be better, to be more secure, to be faster than any other type of programming language. These have been proven to be better than Solidity, Anchor, and Rust. Though the Move programming language is more of like an upgraded Rust, but it's totally different from the Rust programming language, and this is crazy. The next key feature that sets Sui apart from other layer 1 blockchain is its storage model. Its storage model have been proven to be 100 times cheaper than Solana, and this is crazy, guys. This is insane. Sui has that large amount of storage. The next main key features that we're going to be talking about is parallel transaction. What is parallel transaction? Parallel transaction is simply group of unrelated transactions being performed at once in the smart contract. Okay, let me explain this. On the other layer 1 blockchain, if I want to do so many transactions, if some people want to do so many transactions, everything has to be performed one after the other. It has to be performed accordingly. It can't be grouped and performed at once. But in parallel transaction, all the transactions can be grouped as far as they are unrelated and interdependent of each other. They can all be grouped and be performed at the same time. This is crazy. Just like you go to a counter after you finish shopping and you're paying for an item and you're scanning your items one after the other. Imagine when you're grouping all your items and scanning it at the same time. This is going to make the transaction very fast. That's why Sui has one of the fastest transaction speed that you can ever think about. And there are two types of transaction on Sui: single owner transaction and the shared owner transaction. What is a single owner transaction? Single owner transaction is a case whereby an individual holds 100% of an asset. That means all of an asset, be it a token or an NFT, belongs to him 100% and he's not sharing it with anybody. And this type of transaction can go as high as up to 290k TPS. That means this transaction can go that very fast. This is crazy. And then we'll talk about the shared owner transaction. The shared owner transaction is a case whereby multiple people owns a particular asset, be it a token or an NFT. That means everybody has a share in that particular asset, and transactions there can't go as high as 290k, but it's pretty very fast. And all this from the single owner transaction and the shared owner transaction. Parallel transaction works on all of them. That means they all can be grouped together and done simultaneously without doing one after the other. This is crazy. Next we're going to talk about is stable gas. Sui gas has been proven to be more stable than any other layer 1 blockchain, and this is done by validators every day voting on the quote gas of the day, which is determined by the hardware they're using. If the gas is too high, they get less share of the rewards, and if the gas is too low, they make less share of the profit. This has kept the Sui gas at a stable base, which is better than other layer 1 blockchain, and this gas is very, very cheap. The next key feature we're going to talk about is social media wallet integration by the introduction of ZK login and ZK send. What is ZK login? ZK login is the ability for you to create wallet just based off your social media accounts. This account includes your Google, your Play Store, your Twitch, and your Microsoft. So if you have a Microsoft account or a Google account or a Facebook account, you can actually create wallet based off of your login details of that particular social media account. So if I have a Google account and I want to create a wallet, I don't have to write down or store my seed phrase because it's going to be done in my Google account. The only downside to this is if your Google account or your Microsoft account or Facebook account gets compromised, your wallet is going to get compromised. But when does that ever happen, right? So we're going to move over to the next thing, which is ZK send. ZK send is a special type of send. It's a special way of sending crypto. This is done by whereby cryptos can be sent via a link. So if I was to send to my brother who is not that crypto inclined, Sui, I just create the link. The last key feature we're going to be talking about today is sponsored transaction as smart contracts. So what is sponsored transaction? Is when a developer of a particular app pays for all the gas that is going to be used in that particular app. This can be seen wildly in gaming. So for example, I have an app, I paid for all the gas that is going to be done at that particular app, so users now use that app without having to pay any amount of gas. This can be seen in a Sui game which is named Run Legend. Run Legend is a seamless and a move to end game where people can earn money by just moving, and this game is completely free, so you don't have to pay for any amount of gas. Now guys, we're going to be talking about the basic misconception that people have about the Sui blockchain. The first main misconception that a lot of people have about the Sui blockchain is that there is a max CPS. The second one, only that badging is not possible on the Sui blockchain. The third one saying that Aptos and Sui uses the same programming language. And then the fourth one is that airdrop was a bad marketing strategy. In the next section of the video, I'm going to be debunking all the outlined misconceptions that I've stated. We're going to start off with max TPS. As we all know, right now the highest TPS that Sui has ever gotten to is 290k, which could actually go higher because the Sui blockchain is designed in a way that it could scale up to unlimited TPS. How? By validator adding more hardware to the pre-existing software. So if all the validator adds more hardware, this can scale up to unlimited transaction per second. So Sui is not only just limited to 290k TPS, it could go much more than that. And the second misconception I'm going to be talking about now is badging. So badging on the Sui blockchain is grouping the transactions I have to do and doing it at a go. Okay guys, let me explain it for you. Okay, if I have a whitelist of a particular NFT and I want to sell that NFT, the steps that I required is that first I have to mint the particular NFT, I have to list the particular NFT, and then I have to sell that particular NFT. So imagine doing all of that at one go. That is what badging does. All the transactions you want to do, you can group them all together and click on it, and it's going to go through. And if one does not go through, all your gas will return back to you. So it's actually a very safe form of transaction, and you can do this for 1024 transactions. That is crazy, man. The next misconception that people have about Sui is that Sui and Aptos use the same programming language. Yes, even though Sui and Aptos use the Move programming language, they are totally different because the Aptos, they use the core Move, and then Sui uses Sui Move. And we all know that the core Move is address centric. That means it's just like other layer 1 blockchain that focuses on the address, while in the Sui moves is actually object centric, where assets are seen as objects, or assets are objects which can be transferred directly to one another without the need of smart contracts being modified. We're going to go to the last misconception that a lot of people have about the Sui blockchain, and that is that airdrop was a bad marketing strategy. This is totally false because guys, as we all know, most people knew about Sui during their airdrop phase. As we all know, the first 4 months after Sui's launch on its mainnet, it recorded over 9 million active accounts. That is crazy. And so far it has partnered with Carrier One, it has partnered with Wando, it has partnered with F1's Red Bull. This has been crazy achievement. So the airdrop was actually a very good marketing strategy because lots of people got into the Sui ecosystem by getting incentive, and they are still holders till today. Now we're going to be talking about the Sui transaction speed. Like I said before, Sui has the ability to do over 1 million TPS, and this is because, like I said before, if validator add more hardware to the pre-existing one, they can be able to run and process unlimited amount of transaction. The Sui operates on a DPoS. That means what? Delegated proof of stake. This is more like an election where there are over 500 registered validators, and then they choose over 100 validators that are going to be validated for a certain period of time. And this is crazy. This means that it's only the best of the best validators that are chosen to run any transaction on Sui, and Sui boasts of having the world record of the number of transactions done in a day, which is 65 million. So in a single day, Sui did 65 million transactions. That is crazy. And also the Sui's confirmation time for a particular transaction is 480 milliseconds. That is mad. Now guys, I'm going to give you guys my take on what I think about Sui. I've been seeing these amazing features that are very innovative. I have to go bullish on Sui. I can't wait to see how far Sui goes this year. I'm looking at $20 per Sui, but that's just my belief. Do your own research. This is not a financial advice. Comment guys on what price you love Sui to get to this year.